Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you to the first roundtable of URBANIZED Final Event. This roundtable is about the real use and impact of the project. My name is Eleni Chalkia. I'm a civil engineer with specialization in transportation issues, and I work at CERTH. In our speakers, we have 5 speakers from the project. We have Chris Deweirt, who is from bpost, Zisis Maleas from CERTH, Ignacio Magallón from BAX, and then from IDIADA we have with us Sara Martinez and also Emilia Romero. I would like to thank you all for being here with us. So I will start with Chris. Chris Deweirt works at the Mail and Parcels Operation Department of bpost, and he is the COE of Assets and Engineering. His involvement in the project was mainly to organize and coordinate the real-life test with Astrid, which is our urbanized actual vehicle, pilot vehicle, in the pilot in Brussels. Thank you very much, Chris. We know that this was a very hard thing to do. So I would like to do some questions to you regarding this pilot. So after the test with Astrid in Brussels, is actually bpost considering using this kind of vehicle for its deliveries?
Well, Eleni, bpost is continually looking for opportunities in the market, and we will continuously also see if there is something that we can use. And certainly the test in Brussels has shown us that the vehicle has some advantages. The accessibility of the cargo area, for instance, that gave us an increased efficiency while loading and unloading. That's something that is very interesting for us. But we must not forget that bpost is also an autonomous public company in which the Belgian government has 50% of the shares. So if you want to do important purchases, we have to launch a public tender. And then we see who gets the market.
Okay, I understand, but how about the modularity of the cargo body? Do you think that it can be beneficial for your daily operations?
Well, if we consider our current operational model, in which sorting and preparation of mail and parcels is almost fully automated and integrated. At this moment, as I explained already in the presentation, a certain form of modularity, compartmentation in the cargo area would be beneficial. But certainly in a later phase, and when parcel volumes are still increasing, this modularity could become very, very interesting. But this would need that we change our operational flow rather thoroughly, which, at my opinion, will be necessary anyway. So, yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
Really important issues. Then we have with us Zisis Maleas from CERTH, colleague of mine, Zisis. He's a mechanical engineer with an MSc in artificial intelligence. And since January 2022, he's also a PhD candidate. He is a data scientist and operational research engineer in CERTH. And in URBANIZED specifically, Zisis is creating machine learning models and he also does operational research optimization models for supply chains and manufacturing processes, and also implementing industrial simulations and quantitative statistics analysis. You have seen his presentation. So based on that, based on the series of simulations you conducted with Zisis, and I know that they are a lot, in order to assess the operational efficiency of the vehicle, can you actually confirm that this vehicle is suitable for the HoReCa sector, given the results you've already presented?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, yeah, indeed, the vehicle seems quite promising because normally when companies start designing their fleets, they're overwhelming. They think that they need like 200 power horse vehicles or, you know, large capacity and large spaces, etc. But according to the results, it turns out that the similar shapes and this shape of vehicle is indeed quite suitable. And if you, at the end of the day, you make the cost-benefit analysis, it seems a lot that this is actually a quite competitive solution. Of course, when you try to choose your fleet, there are different profiles, different things, and there are probably other alternatives that are also good, but this is really and honestly a considerable solution for urban logistics, and even for the future logistics concepts like physical internet, sharing logistics, urban consolidation centers, and all these topics. The modularity and the features that this vehicle have are indeed very applicable for such use cases.
So, apart from the Horeca section, do you think that there are also other sections that this vehicle could be used with success?
Yeah, indeed. I said this also into my presentation. I believe that besides Horeca section, in sectors like last mile delivery for e-commerce or also for perishable food, like Horeca for replenishment of perishable foods in food retail, etc., in groceries, such vehicle can be much, much better than Horeca also. So there are also other markets that this vehicle can target, and especially last mile e-commerce and also cold supply chains, because the modularity can allow companies to shift this cargo body into cold one, probably, and take a benefit, like utilize half a day for cold products, half a day for dry products. But it's also very useful, yeah, for consolidation centers, because you can fill up the cargo body and you can reduce a lot the time of transshipment, because actually when we need to add an extra node on delivery, the transshipment is an extra time that usually is a bottleneck into the operations. But given that this thing is modular, it's quite nice that you have time to make the transshipment when the vehicle is on the move for another delivery, for instance.
So I understand that the vehicle as it is has potential in the Horeca market in other segments, but do you think that there could be any additional changes and enhancements to the vehicle in order to implement it also, and also to enhance its performance in general?
Sorry, Emilia.
Do you think that there can be additional implementations in the vehicle to increase its efficiency?
Yeah.
Its performance in general?
Yeah. First of all, yeah, to introduce the vehicle into collaborative delivery business models. This is the first thing, and the most obvious one, because normally there are big acquisition costs in electric vehicles. To be honest on this, and sharing this acquisition cost and sharing also the utilization of this vehicle. It can be really a step forward to move faster to adoption of electric vehicles and to start decarbonizing urban logistics. Yeah.
And since we are talking about the adoption of this kind of vehicles, one last question for you, Zisis. Do you think that these vehicles require the support of EU policies to accelerate the market adoption and their penetration to the market? And what are the key challenges that are faced by the fleet operators, and how can these policies address these challenges in order to have a better and quicker adoption of the markets?
Yeah, indeed, they need the support of EU policies or like national policies, etc. Indeed, because as I said before, also the acquisition cost is quite large. And the benefits of adopting such solution is quite big. Like the environmental benefit of adopting such solution is very, very important. So we have like two forces here. It's okay, it's expensive, but it's worth to invest on this. We presented before also how much it's worth to invest, how much money we should invest in order to gain a certain amount of CO2 reduction in urban logistics. There are also other benefits on this, like there are benefits on noise, on traffic congestion, etc., because they're usually utilizing two-axle vehicles and they're double parking and they do not efficiently plan their deliveries. This is a normal thing in modern cities, double parking issues, etc. So indeed, yeah, it needs policies. During URBANIZED also we design such policies and we talk about such policies in some relevant activities. So there is a lot of information there. But yeah, of course, it's not one policy. Like, it's a block of policies, considering that we need to establish low emission zones, you need to establish a regulatory framework. We need to bring stakeholders together and to let the stakeholders talk each other and communicate and exchange and find the best solutions that fits to all of them, to design win-win situations here. So yeah, it's not a straightforward policy, it's a block of policies and a roadmap that we should follow in order to address these challenges.
We have to present these benefits to the Belgian government in order to to be able for bpost to have some.
I think more or less all of the governments now fund the acquisition of electric vehicles. But what I think is that probably they don't have the appropriate numbers. Maybe we need to update these numbers on how much they should fund such policies.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Zisis. And we move to Ignacio. Hello, Ignacio Peinado.
Magallón.
Ignacio Magallón, sorry, who holds an MSc in Industrial Engineering, and he is a postgraduate of the Intelligent Transport Systems. He is currently working in the team on mobility and logistics planning at BAX, and he has been there for 10 years as a senior consultant, and he also combines this with his work in the university, the Polytechnical University of Catalonia, where he holds a position as associate professor. In URBANIZED, Ignacio has been a great force because he was the dissemination manager, of course, and he has also worked in many other aspects in the project as the impact assessment. And regarding the impact assessment is what I would like to ask you first, Ignacio. What have been the main challenges that you faced in order to achieve the project's impact?
That's a good question. I think our colleagues have been detailing a bit more at technical level and operational level those challenges. Perhaps I would like to reflect on one point, which is kind of an overarching challenge. So we see the value or sort of the driver to achieve those impacts, obviously from an ecosystem perspective. We always try to see this is an innovation action. The goal is obviously to develop a vehicle that ends up reaching the market and being adopted by the market. And therefore, the vision that the project had, structuring at 3 layers, systems, vehicle, and fleet, for us can only be achieved if basically all the partners are brought together, aligned under this vision of the systems thinking approach of the ecosystem. And answering your question of the challenge, which goes a bit beyond the individual technical elements, but a bit above, what we noticed is that bringing these partners together in its own and making them collaborate was a major challenge. In this sense, I think we did something pretty unique in URBANIZED, bringing the entire value chain, kind of these two walls, the industrial and automotive value chain, from the systems perspective, the tier, the suppliers, the OEMs at the vehicle level, but also the fleet, the operators, but then making them in each step, Salva was actually presenting before the milestones, working together from the definition of the missions and the requirements, having sessions and workshops where everybody puts together a bit the requirements so that they are hopefully reflected, up to the point of the testing, that everybody is involved, is a challenge. You realize that actually these parties are not used to discussing as much as they should. And even though we are very grateful that we have an OEM, Alke, that actually is very much looking forward to listen to their clients and basically the fleet operators, that's a challenge. That's a major challenge, which perhaps it sounds a bit, I don't know, like managed or operational, but I think it's at the root of basically the successful implementation of the project. Besides this, I would say data sharing. I think probably Zisis knows better. I think we have relied on punctual agreements or collaborations that you might have with some parties, so that bpost has shared this data. But this is one of the key enablers to actually facilitate collaborative logistics, which should be kind of a stream that allows us also to implement this vision, where actually OEMs collaborate among themselves, also with suppliers, also with fleet operators. And I'm not sure we are there yet. I think we have managed to collect some data a bit ad hoc, and there are some databases and historics, but I think kind of as a recurrent challenge and overarching question how to ensure that this can be more implemented if we are to deploy this a bit a larger scale in a city where actually you were mentioning in some of the presentations, it's the normal case that fleet operators have actually vehicles from different OEMs, typically competitors, whereas same OEM can be actually selling or delivering to different fleet operators, right?
So this is something that I asked Zisis before, but I want to know also your opinion on it. Do you feel that there are other segments of the market where this vehicle can be used apart from from the Horeca one that we used in an urbanized project. And you can connect it a bit with the impact of the vehicle, actually.
Yeah, well, when we were starting, conceptualizing the project altogether as a consortium, we decided to focus on 2 use cases. We saw an obvious fit in the market of post, last mile delivery and Horeca with Coffee Island. I even think that within those markets there are a lot of opportunities through return logistics, for example, or if we would apply the part of inner modularity that was raised, I think, by bpost, as an interesting point that could be also better improved, and we combine it with the cold value chain that also Zisis was mentioning, so still within Horeca there could be an angle or an opportunity to work within refrigerated cargo bodies that can have or handle different temperatures, so multi-temperature or multi-controlled bodies, so that can be on its own already possibilities within these markets. Besides that, obviously there could be, as I said, return logistics or even other markets like pharma connecting with cold deliveries, etc. So I think the room is very large. I think more than the market segment per se is the application, that there could be also connecting with, for example, applications that Alke could have nowadays with municipalities or ways. There could be other ways to also streamline or replicate from there.
Okay, great. We know all that Urbanize is now coming to an end. So what do you think that could be the next steps in order to allow us to valorize the outcomes of Urbanized project and also to extend its impact?
Well, I think we've proven that with Urbanize we are capable, we have been capable to build a project, a product, a vehicle that can be accepted by the market. I think what we need now is to make sure that this is properly implemented in the ecosystem. I was saying before that I think we have been able to bring together, I would say, almost the entire value chain here. It's obvious we are missing the policymakers. So this is what mentioning about the importance of the policies, but we need obviously the ones that actually manage the infrastructure in a sense and make the laws, the policies. So it would be good to have also the municipalities involved in a sense and connected to this idea of this systems perspective and actually having partners discuss more. I think it would be very nice to have also OEMs discuss and learn from each other. There are different approaches, a high volume, low volume, more design fit or for purpose. In that sense, if there could be a way to make these parties collaborate, involve more explicitly operators. Here we were lucky and we were fortunate to have one use case with real life demonstration with one partner, but there are different fleet operators, ideally in different cities, different contexts. So I think the next step should be sort of a bit of a more large-scale deployment of multiple of these vehicles to see the differences across markets with direct feedback from the operators and indeed see how different OEMs approach and can learn from each other. I think there are benefits that they could share and exchange, and I'm pretty sure also Lamberto would agree with that as well.
Thank you very much, Ignacio. Thank you. And we are moving forward to the 2 IDIADA girls that are with us. First, we have Sara Martinez. Sara, thank you for being here. She is a data scientist specializing in big data analytics, data visualization, and reporting with the automotive industry. As part of Urbanized project, Sara has contributed significantly to the deployment of the digital platform designed to analyze vehicle data and extract actionable insights. And she has led various data analytics initiatives with major automotive manufacturers focusing on utilizing data for strategic decision-making. Currently, Sara plays an important role in defining tools for managing testing processes at IDIADA, and she's participating in the creation of innovation solutions. So, Sara, what I would like to ask you is, what role do digital platforms actually play in improving the maintenance and performance of electric vehicles, such as the one in Urbanized?
Well, thank you first for the introduction, Eleni. I think, answering your question, that these platforms, these digital platforms, have a crucial role in improving the efficiency and also the vehicle performance. First, these digital platforms can track the location, the status, and the general health of the vehicle by using information related to the sensors within the vehicle, but also from external sources, offering information like, I don't know, accelerations, velocities, battery level, temperatures, etc., etc. So analyzing these signals and monitoring them, we can have a better understanding of the vehicle conditions and also identify potential issues early so we can address them before maybe they can escalate into major problems. So in this sense, I think that these tools have an important role in the maintenance strategies. So analyzing both historical and real-time data, we can know much better the health of the vehicle and its components. For example, if a particular, a particular component is showing signs of weakness, this platform, this dashboard, can alert or can notify the fleet manager and say, hey, check that because maybe here you have some issues, right? So, well, in this sense, extends the lifespan of the vehicle and also guarantees that there is a continuous operation of the fleet, no? And another point that maybe I think it's very useful is that these tools provide feedback on the driving behavior. I mean, it has an important role in regulatory compliance and also environmental standards. So, well, I think all we are agreed that these tools are so powerful, so we have to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how about, I know that there are a lot of challenges for the electric vehicles and its participation in the urban and the smart city environment. Do you think that AI and data analytics can address these challenges? And if yes, how? Using what ways?
Yes, of course. I think that one of the ways that artificial intelligence can assist us is by making accurate predictions, which allows us to manage and anticipate complex situations more effectively. To put some examples related to, for example, for the battery health. In this case, this tool, this artificial intelligence, but also advanced algorithms like the eco-functions that we have taken, can optimize the routes of the vehicles. If these systems can detect if a particular route is likely to drain the battery faster, I don't know, because the heavy traffic or the type of the road, it can suggest an alternative route that conserves the energy and also extends the life of the battery, right? Another example, for example, is another aspect can be to manage the work peaks during, for example, the holidays or during, a specific event in the city. So in this case, the tool can prepare the fleet managers correctly to say, hey, there are enough charging stations available, and also the fleet can handle the increased load, right? Or if it's needed to put another vehicle in the road to meet the increased demand. So, well, it's clear that these technologies enhance the management of the electric vehicles. So, well, we have to be constantly updated because these technologies are evolving so rapidly.
Thank you very much, Emilia. I thank you very much, Sara, because now I'm passing to Emilia. Emilia Romero, who is a researcher and design specializing in R&D projects in IDIADA Body Design Department. She's also teaching a postgraduate course on electric vehicles and other propulsion technologies at UPC since 2015 and shares her vehicle design knowledge there. Since 2028, Emilia also serves as a specialized professor and mentor in dual vocational training, guiding aspiring automotive professionals. Well done, Emilia. So, I would like to ask you some things regarding the vehicle design and urban planning strategies that can be implemented to provide dedicated storage for logistic purposes. How can these strategies enhance efficiency of the vehicle and reduce the urban congestion after all?
Yeah, thank you, Eleni. now, to cook the best solution, maybe another ingredient is rethinking the space in the cities. We need to reurbanize, and we know the advantage to distribute with micro hubs and big hubs in the outsides, and then maybe this have a good relation with the efficiency, because at the end we need to try to have short trips for the logistics. Ideal is if for each neighborhood we have the storage that can also be shared. We are talking people, we have to share vehicles. Why not? The goods cannot be shared, because at the end this is to improve, no, that all that we need as citizens, no. This is the first, and it's not easy, as you know, because there are a lot of things to do. But maybe regarding the pilots, the next pilots, we can also introduce something like this, a neighborhood with different dimension of vehicles, because at the end we need to have all, and test if we can reduce the congestion, because at the end we don't need to have during the day too many vehicles from different providers moving goods, no? For this we need the data. We need also the regulations from the cities, no, to help to do it. It's not easy, I'm sure, but maybe it's a good relation with the efficiency, because depending of the city and the trips, you can have the autonomy that you need.
So you feel that the municipalities and the authorities of the cities play a great role on all this transition. So by managing data to support logistic and transportation platforms, can changing infrastructure for electric vehicle batteries actually?
Yeah, in the same way, at the end we need to charge. Where is the charge? The charging point are all public, can be also private, because depending of the operator, maybe have a big fleet of vehicles. And then also it's energy from solar energy or not. And then this is in combination with the operational, with the data that you need for each movement of goods. It's essential to take in account to minimize the costs that we have today and the congestion, because also it's a problem with the space in the cities.
Thank you very much, Emilia. I think that also the European Commission is moving towards its targets in their new mission calls, with restructuring the whole urban environment and creating intermodal hubs where shared vehicles and shared chargers will be there. So I think that we are heading to the future, and thank you very much for everything you shared with us. I would like to thank you all very much for being with us, and I would like to thank you all also very much for attending this final event.